Jerkface, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? Someone, we won't name who, Moose, decided to take the liberty to come onto the veranda, which he's not permitted to do. Someone was being naughty. So now this dog bed is there to stop this big buffhead going somewhere where he shouldn't go. Isn't it, Moose? Isn't it? Don't be a jack. G'day folks, and welcome back to MILO'S farm. Today, for this blog, I really wanted to have a bit of a chat about homesteading and working full-time. So I put up a poll on Instagram yesterday asking about what people want to see, and all the questions I asked, everyone said yes to them, and this was one of them. So I thought I'd do this one first because I think it's quite important to consider what it's like to work full-time or maintain a full-time schedule, and also having a homestead. And there's quite a few little intricacies that play in with that, that can impact on how easy or difficult it is for you to do. So throughout this vlog, we'll sort of take a minute to have a chat about a few of those key themes and topics. And for anyone that's new to homesteading or considering homesteading, but you are working full-time, maybe this video will help you sort of just make that decision as to whether or not you can manage it with your time, or how you can look at changing your work schedule, or changing, something else in your work life that will allow you to facilitate this. Obviously, with the global pandemic, people have had an opportunity to think about what they want in life, and what I seem to be getting a huge impression of with people that I talk about is their priorities have changed, and things that they sort of kept putting off, or kept saying, when I get to this age, or when I reach this financial milestone, or, when I pay out my mortgage or whatever it might be, then I'll do it. And I think that what's actually happening is people are saying, you know what, bugger it, I'm going to do it now. So I wanted to talk about that in this vlog, but we've got a few projects planned, as we always do. I'm going to be doing the lily pillies this vlog, and we're also finishing the fence, and hopefully getting Moosey out into the side paddock. Okay, so we are going to make sauerkraut today. Normally, when I make sauerkraut, the way that I was taught to make sauerkraut traditionally was just using cabbage and so I did invest in a fermentation system from Green Living Australia. They've got different sizes. In hindsight, I probably should have got the bigger one. So this one is a 2.2 litre. It comes with one of these kind of grates, vent grates. It comes with this lid with a removable cap, that's so that the gas can release, and it comes with a plain lid as well, so that once you finish your fermentation process, you take it off, you pop the plain lid on, and you chuck it in the fridge. Yeah, that's what we'll be doing today. We're got these two beautiful cabbage pieces from the co-op box, and we are just going to clean it up a little bit and make some sauerkraut. Now, I like this thickness, but you can make it thinner based on your mandolin and your personal preference. Alrighty, now we add some salt. I think it's supposed to be, if you looked at like official directions, it would be like 1 to 2 tablespoons per amount. I don't use a measuring cup, I know by taste what I prefer. Toss it well. Try it. That's good. What you doing, Billy? What you doing? Okay, now we're continuing to do the fence, and hopefully it won't take long, maybe 20 minutes, and then we can let Lucy into this paddock tomorrow. So exciting!
No, I'll let you go inside, hang on. That's all right.
Did you find your voice finally? Did you find your voice? Did you bark like a big girl?
So we just got one more. If you want to do one more,
Yeah.
I'll do one or two, is enough.
No, we can, I mean, we can do one more if you want to do one more.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's have a look. Oh, it's kind of hard to see. That's a little bit easier. So this is just star pickets, 1200 high, 1200 mil, and then we put just this wire between, and that's enough for Moosey. We're going to electrify it later, but it's perfectly fine for him to be supervised. And yeah. Hey, fencer man.
Hello. One more.
All right, let's do one more.
Yeah.
What are we doing the gate from?
We're going to do a gate from the bungee cord eventually.
Yeah, but for now, just rope.
For now, just rope.
Yeah.
Or you can have a normal tape until we get the bungee cord, electrical bungee cord from eBay.
I reckon we could just do tape.
You can do either or.
We could do, not tape, rope. We got heaps of rope.
Yeah, I have enough tape, and I have 3 handles. If you can have at least 2 handles, that you can have electricity going through. So electricity going to be separate from these wires.
I don't think we need to yet. You know why? Because he'll be in here for a little bit, and then he'll see that I'm over there, and then he'll be like, want to be with me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
he's not going to be here
I'd rather just set it
alone
all up.
by himself.
Yeah, set it all up at once, and that way it doesn't matter which paddock he's in. You just got to turn it on, and it's, you know,
Yeah.
at least until we get the front fence done.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if he gets on the road, it can be disastrous.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Okay, cool. I've got to tie that off the top.
I'm going to go check that dam because I had a look today and it looks like it's filling. That one.
Yeah, I think so.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. That one's overflowing.
I know.
Anyway.
You know what? We should probably turn it on.
Grass going through where the dam's coming through.
Yeah.
So where the dam goes through underneath his road there, you can see the green grass.
I think we
That's
need to
all
maybe
that,
empty it a bit.
I've got a pump hooked up.
Yeah.
So, but
Maybe tomorrow we should empty it a bit.
It's going to rain anyway, so we'll see. Do you want to get some rope? Actually, I know where it is. I'll go get it.
Isn't there some on the back of the car? We have to burn these piles. These piles were put here by the clean and fixer man. And this is fucking asparagus weed. Hate asparagus weed. Such a pain in the butt. But did you see in that other corner, in that other paddock where I sprayed, it's gone yellow now?
Yeah, but the same thing. But the best way I found any sort of weed to do it, sprayed with unleaded on a really hot day, lunchtime, and within 2 hours it's dead.
Yeah. I mean, we can try.
of-
We can
instead
try on
of-
like one of these.
Yeah, instead of paying, you know, 50, 60 bucks.
Well, that was
pesticide,
$20.
yeah,
Well, and it was an organic one. It wasn't.
pesticide.
Oh, you know I don't like
you get
pesticide.
a little bit of petrol, like not, you know, don't drown it, but just a little bit and it'll just burn everything. So
Maybe we'll try on that pile over there. All right, let's go have a look. I want to have a look at the dam.
I'm just going to get some rope and get it.
I mean, we can take him in a little bit to the side now if he wants to just have a wander.
Let it go now.
Or tomorrow morning.
Well, you can even let him go now. It doesn't matter. Like, it's up to you. But I'm just going to put a rope on that, and all I've got to do is take the rope from the back one.
Yeah. I haven't showed this dam before, I don't think, in the vlog so far. It's I don't think it's sealed properly, because on that side over there, on the side of the embankment, that's where Serge lost the machine the beginning of the year when he hired the machine, because I think water seeps through here. That's the only thing I could make sense of. This fills right up and then it overflows over there. So it's and initially I was like, oh, let's close this dam. And then within the first 6 months of living here, we had such bad floods. And if we didn't have this dam, and if it didn't capture all the water, we would have been buggered. It's starting to rain. I think I need to go inside. So I've already written a post actually in my blog about how you can manage being a full-time worker and running a homestead. Up until obviously certain global events, I was doing this all the time. I was working 5 days a week. I had a full gym schedule, I was, doing a bunch of other things, and I basically only had the weekends and after hours to do stuff around the property, same as my husband. So it's definitely doable, but there's probably some key steps that you need to keep in mind that you have to consider if you're trying to manage both. So I probably want to preface this by talking a little bit about what I think homesteading is. And I don't think it matters necessarily, whether you're on 50 acres or 5 acres or 500 acres. I think people that homestead do so because it's a lifestyle that they like, and it's an ideology, like a lifestyle ideology that they follow. So to me, you can have, I look at it as a spectrum. So I think that you can have any array of things that you do along that spectrum. You can live in a tiny house and have your own garden and chickens. I still think you're a homesteader. Or you can live in a grand mansion on like 50 acres with manicured gardens and professional racehorses. You're probably still a homesteader, right? So I think that we probably need to just establish that being a homesteader can be anything from someone that's making their own food, raising their own meat animals, growing their own veggies, hunting for their own food, whatever it might be. I think that, you've got to consider that it's a huge range of elements. You're going to have people that are coming into the lifestyle because it's something that they've always wanted to do, or you're going to have people that are already in the lifestyle and looking to expand. And in terms of homesteading, I actually think that it probably skipped a generation, because my parents came to Australia as migrants, and I'm first generation Australian. So I think for them it was like they grew up in that kind of homesteading environment. Both of my parents came from small sort of villages and towns in Eastern Europe. And this was the norm for them. It was the norm for them to preserve their vegetable harvest. It was normal for them to, ferment their own foods, grow their own meat, have their own veggies, etc. So I think they moved, my family moved to Australia. They went, oh my God, this is fantastic. Things are so much easier. And then it's come to our generation where we're the ones that have gone, yeah, let's just put the brakes on that a little bit and let's reverse. Let's go back to basics. So step number 1, plan. If you're trying to work full time and you're running a full homestead, you need to plan all your jobs. You need to plan any regular maintenance that needs to happen. So of course, in the area that we live, we have floods, we have a summer storm season, we have like a wet season, we have big gum trees, we have lots of maintenance that needs to happen. Make sure that your maintenance and your property management is all on schedule, that you're doing it regularly so you don't get lumped with a big job just before a really big weather event. And that you're also keeping on top of things if there's anything that needs to be repaired. Or planning is your most important thing. I know it seems cliche because that's what everyone says, but especially when you're trying to run a homestead and you've got livestock and you've got a property to manage, that's the most important. You like your new paddock, mate? I think so. Lots of fluffy grass. Looks very tasty. He loves fluffy grass. Another thing that's important is to think about simplifying. So simplify your projects, simplify your house. This can be anything from what you've got going inside, you know, in terms of like your belongings and personal things, and what you're doing outside. Let me explain. So when we're talking about simplifying, think of simplifying as step number 2. Simplifying isn't just looking at what's inside the house, though I 100% recommend doing a huge cull of anything that you don't need, don't want, haven't used, and have no purpose for. It helps declutter your space, helps you feel a little bit more less cluttered in yourself, you know, if you don't have all that stuff lying around. And less clutter means less rubbish to accumulate, less cleaning, etc. So number 1, you've got to do a big cull of everything inside your house that you're not using, that you know, don't have any purpose for anymore. Number 2, when it comes to simplifying projects, this project of the fence, as you can see, is really, really simple. It's not a big job. All we've done is, sorry, there's flies and mosquitoes. All we've done is put up some star pickets, these star pickets, and put wire. Now, of course, we still have an additional step. We do have to put some electrical tape on here because Moose is going to be here and we don't want him to challenge the fence. He's got a healthy respect for fences at the moment, but we don't want him to challenge it. But simplifying your projects, getting something done that's going to be useful, cost effective, and easy to maneuver if you need to. So for example, if we needed to move this, if we needed to extend this, make the paddock bigger, whatever, we could do it. It wouldn't take too long because these posts are not concreted into the ground. They can be pulled out relatively easily. So simplifying your life, your projects, and inside your house, step number 2 for how you can manage working full-time and running a homestead. Step number 3, negotiate alternate working arrangements. Obviously now, with world events the way they are, you know, there's been an increase in people working from home, and definitely an appetite, at least in Australia, for the consideration of hybrid working arrangements and, you know, increased working from home arrangements. So if you have a good boss, and even if you don't, have a look at your employment, you know, agreement, and consider alternating your work hours. So prior to the pandemic, I was working 7 till 3, and that's because my place of employment has a bandwidth from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m, where basically you can work, you can start work and you can finish work, but it's got to be between that bandwidth. So it was a bit of a pain because I was having to get up at 4:30 in the morning in order to be able to start work at 7 o'clock and travel to work, right? But at least I was able to start work earlier, which means I finished work earlier, which means I got home earlier than, let's say, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Although, you know, if I hit traffic, it was not unusual to sometimes get home at 5 o'clock. And then do your chores at home. So, you know, back to simplicity, step number 2, and back to step number 1, which was about, you know, planning. All of that is part of your planning and part of simplifying your life. So if you can get home earlier and attend to at least 1 or 2 chores, you know, you've already lessened your workload for the week. So, you know, it might be today you're going to clean out your chicken house, or, you know, you're going to do something, whatever it is, muck out a stable, or you're going to plant some trees, whatever it is. Even if you do that one task, it's much better if you can spread them out throughout the week, including your house chores. If you've got any house cleaning or anything that needs to be done, it's better if you can spread that out throughout the week, and you can achieve that by finishing earlier. I'm really pleased with how he's accepting coming into this back paddock by himself. I just went to spray some bushman, and he's coming in here having a good old wander. I have walked him through here numerous times, ridden him through here. So it's not like it's entirely new to him, but he's just accepting it really well. And of course, look at these freaking asparagus weeds. Step number 4, actively manage a goal and task list. So what this means is, especially if you're someone that likes lists or likes order or likes doing things in a structural and methodical way, this is the best way for you to stay on top of your prioritization of tasks, especially when it comes to managing your homestead and working full time, but also in being able to quickly reallocate tasks or projects if something happens or there is a change. So we, at the beginning of each year, sit down and we talk about everything that we want to achieve for that year. Okay, this year I want to do, you know, a laundry renovation. This year I want to clear the back paddocks, or whatever it might be. And then we write down, what do we need to achieve that? So, okay, let's say we want to, you know, do the laundry. Okay, what do we need to achieve that? We need to do some mud plans. We need to measure the room. We need to look at what, appliances or utilities we need in that space, or cupboards, or whatever it might be. How do we achieve that? What stores do we need to look at? How can we do it? Is it something that we can DIY? Do we have to pay someone to do it? So you sit there and you nut out the whole project. You write everything down, all the pros and cons, everything that you need, and then you look at how you can break it up. So something like, a laundry project might take longer to do than, let's say, the clearing project. But if you're in a space like where we are, where, weather dictates, what you can and can't do, well, maybe that project takes longer. So something like the laundry project is optional. That's something that we would like done, but we don't need to get it done because the laundry is completely functional as it is. There's nothing wrong with the laundry. I just wanted to change it and make it better for my purposes. So, things like that. You need to look at things that are like long-term goals, medium-term goals, short-term goals, how you're going to achieve them, and how you can prioritize those tasks based on everything else around you. So it goes back to the planning, back to the simplification, back to your work schedule. If you can tie all of these in, then you'll be able to make sure that you achieve everything that you set out to achieve throughout the year and also manage your time better. So a few months ago, the neighbour came to help with something and his tractor hit this gum. And look at all the sap that's coming out of it. Look how thick the indentation is. And lastly, step number 5, slow down. So you've already kind of made the decision to move to a homestead at some point in time, whether it's recently, whether it was 10 years ago. You don't have to do everything all at once. You don't have to race around and put yourself in a position where you're stressed out or getting upset or nervous because you haven't achieved something. Okay, so the washing didn't get done today. Do it tomorrow. You don't get it done tomorrow? Do it the next day. We have to stop putting pressure on ourselves. And I think one of the reasons the homesteading ideology is really a lifestyle ideology, is what I call it. One of the reasons it's becoming so prominent is because people are finally getting the picture. They're finally saying, you know what? I don't want to do this shit. And that's okay. It's okay to say that. So that's my top 5 tips when it comes to how to manage homesteading and working full time. Achieve that. Now, there is an optional bonus here. Optional bonus. Moosey? Optional bonus. Step number 6. If this, then that. What does that mean? Okay. If this, then that means if you have decided to become a homesteader or get into homesteading and you're not, or if you've been able to sell a property and pay your mortgage and whatever, now you don't have to go to work all the time, whatever the scenario is, if something has changed so drastically that you can now change more of your homesteading goals, i.e. start a business from your homestead, work from home more permanently, give up your full-time job to go and work in town, change your career, whatever it might be, whatever those steps are, if this, then that. If that happens, then you're in an even greater position than you think. It means that you've got a lot more control over, things, over your life, and you can do whatever the heck you want. Just getting Moosey because he's obviously seen the neighbour or the neighbour's dog or something, and he's like, what? What is that? I'm just showing him that it's okay, he can come over here. I think he likes his new paddock. What you doing, darling? He's like, yay, I can stretch my legs. Tree, buddy, tree. He's in the house yard now. What you doing? You want to come outside again? And go running? He's having a bit of fun, isn't he? Come. Over here, darling. You can come outside if you want. Come on. Yeah. Come on. See? You want to come running? Come, darling. You can come running if you want. Yeah, darling. You can have some water. Right. Look at that march fly. God, I hate them. What, darling? I bet you stick to the grass and not the oats so you don't get so fizzy. Oh my goodness. My goodness. His first recall. Let's see if he knows how to get back. So he's already come to the side gate, two of the side gates. Come on, mate. Come on. So he came to that side gate and that one. Come on, buddy. Come on. Up, up, up. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Yeah, you got to get in there somehow. This way, mate. This way. Come on, mate. Come on. Quick, 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 quick. Come on. Come on. Yeah, come on, darling. Yeah, dinner time. You know how to do it. You're a good boy. Come on, darling. Come on. Good boy.